My friend, before you take another step into this day, pause and ask yourself, what power is guiding your heart right now? Is it fear? Is it worry? Or is it the unshakable love of God? Because only His love can steady your soul when everything around you feels uncertain. Each morning is a fresh gift, a brand new page written by the hand of God. The rising sun is His reminder that His mercies are new every morning, that yesterday's burdens do not have to rule today's path. You are not here by accident. You are not breathing by chance. You are alive today because God has chosen to give you another opportunity to walk in His grace, to receive His peace, and to live with His strength. So let His love be the compass that directs your steps. Let it be the shield that protects you from fear and the fire that ignites your courage. The world will offer you confusion, but His word offers clarity. The world will burden you with anxiety, but His Spirit will fill you with peace. The world will tempt you with despair, but His promises whisper hope. This morning, surrender your plans, your fears, your weaknesses into the hands of the one who already knows the road ahead. He is not surprised by your trials, and He will never abandon you in the valley. Lift your eyes, for your help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Walk into this day with confidence, not in your own strength, but in the strength of the Almighty. Let His love guide every thought, every word, and every action. And when you do, you will not just endure the day. You will rise above it, shining as a light in a world that so desperately needs hope. Now go forward, live with peace, live with strength, and let the love of God guide your day. To start your day with God's love as your guiding force means making a choice at the very moment you open your eyes. Before your feet touch the floor, before the worries of the world try to invade your mind, you decide that the foundation of your day will not be fear, not anxiety, not the weight of yesterday's mistakes, but the unshakable love of God. When you anchor your heart in His love, you step into the morning with a strength the world cannot take away. Fear loses its grip when you know the Almighty has already gone before you, preparing your path and surrounding you with His presence. Worry has no authority when you are embraced by the one who holds the universe together, yet also holds your life in the palm of His hand. God's love is not fragile. It is not temporary or conditional. It does not waver depending on your feelings or circumstances. His love is eternal, steadfast, and unchanging. When you allow that love to lead you, every decision you make, every challenge you face, is filtered through His wisdom and His grace. You don't have to rely on your own understanding, which is limited, or your own strength, which often falters. Instead, you lean into the one who never fails. Starting your day in His love is like stepping out into the storm with a shelter that cannot be shaken. The winds may blow, but you remain secure because His love steadies your heart. This choice is not about pretending life is easy or ignoring the struggles you carry. It is about remembering that God's love is greater than the burdens you face. It is about declaring that you will not be ruled by the darkness of fear, but by the light of His presence. Fear is loud, but His love speaks louder. Worry is heavy, but His love lifts higher. Doubt tries to steal your peace, but His love restores it again and again. When you make His love the guiding force of your day, it changes how you treat others, how you speak, how you think, and how you walk. Instead of reacting with anger, you respond with patience because His love teaches you gentleness. Instead of giving in to despair, you hold on to hope because His love reminds you that nothing is impossible with Him. Instead of living in constant stress, You move with peace because His love is your anchor. Imagine the difference in your day if every step was directed by His love. The workplace becomes more than a place to earn a living. It becomes a mission field where His love can be shown. Your home becomes more than four walls. It becomes a sanctuary where His presence dwells. Your conversations become more than words. They become vessels of encouragement, healing, and truth. So when the sun rises and a new day begins, don't let fear, worry, or doubt set the tone. Choose to let the unshakable love of God guide your steps. His love is not only enough, it is everything. And when you start your day with that foundation, nothing can shake your peace, nothing can steal your strength, and nothing can separate you from the one who walks with you through it all. Each morning is a gift of new mercy. When you open your eyes to see the light of a new day, it is not simply another routine moment on the calendar. It is a divine reminder that God has chosen to give you a fresh beginning. Yesterday may have been filled with mistakes, burdens, or regrets, but those do not have to define you today. The rising of the sun carries with it a message from heaven. What was broken can be healed. What was heavy can be lifted. And what seemed impossible can be made possible by the hand of God. His mercies are not just occasional, they are new every morning. That means you do not have to live under the shadow of yesterday's failures. You are invited to step into the light of His grace. Once again, think about how many people live chained to the past, replaying old wounds, carrying guilt, or holding on to bitterness. They wake up, but they never truly rise, because the weight of yesterday presses them down. But God's word tells us that His love renews us daily, and His forgiveness wipes the slate clean. When you accept that truth, you no longer wake up as a prisoner. You wake up free. You do not carry the weight of yesterday's mistakes into today's journey. Instead, you are empowered to walk forward with hope, knowing God has given you another opportunity to grow, to change, and to shine. Every morning is like a new chapter in the book of your life. You cannot rewrite the pages behind you, but you can decide what will be written today. Will it be filled with gratitude or with complaint? Will it be filled with faith or with fear? The gift of a new day is God's invitation to choose differently, to walk in His Spirit, and to let His peace rule your heart. When you wake up and surrender your day into His hands, you are declaring, Lord, I trust You with what is ahead. I refuse to be held back by what is behind. That choice will shape your attitude, your relationships, and the way you face the challenges that come. There is a quiet beauty in the morning, a stillness before the world demands your attention. In that sacred time, God whispers His love to your soul. He reminds you that He has not given up on you, that His purpose for you is not finished, and that every sunrise is a chance to begin again. The failures of yesterday are not powerful enough to cancel the possibilities of today. His mercy covers your weakness. His grace strengthens your steps, and His presence goes before you. So when you rise each day, rise with expectation. Don't let regret steal the joy of the morning. Don't let fear silence the voice of hope. Receive the gift that God has placed in your hands. A fresh start, a new chance, another opportunity to live with purpose and faith. This is not just another day. It is a day wrapped in mercy, sealed with grace, and filled with the promise that God is with you. God's love brings clarity, peace, and hope in a world that constantly offers confusion, anxiety, and despair. Everywhere you look, the voices of this world are shouting, telling you what to fear, what to chase, what to believe. The news fills your heart with uncertainty. Social pressures weigh on your spirit, and personal struggles cloud your mind. The noise can be overwhelming, and in that noise it is easy to lose direction. But when you turn your heart toward God's love, the fog begins to lift. His love cuts through confusion like a beam of light breaking through the darkness. It reminds you that you are not lost, you are not abandoned, and you are not without purpose. Clarity comes when you rest in Him. Instead of being driven by the shifting opinions of people, you are anchored in the truth of God's Word. His love reveals what truly matters and strips away the lies that try to entangle your heart. When you face decisions, His Spirit leads you. When you are unsure which path to take, His love steadies your steps. You begin to realize that peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of God's hand upon your life. The world cannot offer that kind of peace. It offers temporary escapes, momentary distractions, but they all fade away. God's love, however, plants a deep calm within your soul, a peace that cannot be shaken by circumstances. Anxiety is one of the greatest thieves of joy. It robs sleep, steals focus, and leaves you exhausted before the day has even begun. But God's love speaks to the anxious heart and says, "Be still, for I am with you." His love does not ignore your fears, it overcomes them. When you rest in His embrace, you begin to see that the weight you carry is not yours to bear alone. His shoulders are strong enough to lift what you cannot. His presence whispers assurance that you are never facing the storm by yourself. And then comes hope. The world is filled with despair. Brokenness surrounds us. Broken families, broken dreams, broken spirits. Many live each day wondering if tomorrow will ever be better than today. But hope rises when you remember that God's love has the final word. His promises are greater than your problems. His plan reaches beyond what your eyes can see. Even in your darkest night, His love plants the seed of hope that morning is coming. That light will return, and that your story is still being written by His hand. This is why you cannot let the voices of the world drown out the voice of God's love. When the world offers confusion, His love gives you clarity. When the world brings anxiety, His love fills you with peace. When the world tempts you with despair, His love breathes hope into your spirit. If you hold on to that truth, no storm can defeat you, no darkness can overcome you, and no burden can crush the joy He has placed in your heart. Surrendering your plans and fears to God is one of the most freeing choices you can ever make. Each of us holds on tightly to our own ideas, our own expectations, and our own timeline, but deep inside we know that life rarely unfolds exactly the way we picture it. Fear rises when things don't go according to plan, when uncertainty clouds our vision, or when obstacles seem bigger than our strength. But the truth is this: God already knows the road ahead. He sees the twists and turns you cannot see, and He has promised never to abandon you along the way. When you lay your plans and your fears at His feet, you step into a life of trust that is stronger than any anxiety. It takes humility to admit that we are not in control. Human nature wants to hold on, to manage every detail, to believe that if we just work harder or think longer, we can force life to go our way. But surrender is not weakness. It is strength. It is the strength of faith, the courage to say, "Lord, I may not understand, but I trust you. I may not see the whole picture, but I know you hold it in your hands." That kind of surrender lifts the crushing weight off your shoulders because you realize you were never meant to carry it alone. When you surrender, it does not mean giving up on your dreams. It means placing those dreams into the hands of the one who knows whether they will bless you or break you. It means trusting his timing even when it feels delayed. Believe in his wisdom even when his direction seems different from your own. You may have faced doors that slammed shut, opportunities that slipped away, or seasons of waiting that felt endless. Yet often, those very moments are God's protection, his way of steering you towards something far better than you could design on your own. Fear loses its grip when you surrender it to God. Fear thrives in the unknown, but when you remember that the unknown is fully known to him, peace begins to replace panic. He is not surprised by your struggles, and he is not shaken by your doubts. He has walked ahead of you, and he walks beside you even now. The valley may be dark, but the shepherd is guiding you through. The mountain may seem high, but his strength will carry you to the top. Surrender is not a one-time act. It is a daily choice. Each morning, you must decide whether to live in your own strength or to rest in his. Each decision, each challenge, each worry can either be a weight you carry or a burden you release. And every time you release it, you make room for God's peace to fill your heart. So, when fear whispers that you are alone, remember you are not. When doubt tells you the path is too difficult, remember he is already on that path with you. Surrender your plans, surrender your fears, and trust the one who has never failed. His ways are higher, his plans are greater, and his love will never let you go. Walking in God's strength instead of your own is the secret to living with endurance, courage, and victory. Human strength has limits. No matter how disciplined, determined, or talented you may be, eventually you will face a moment when your energy runs out, your resolve grows weak, and your heart feels overwhelmed. But God's strength knows no limits. His power does not fade, his arm does not grow weary, and his resources are never exhausted. When you lean on his strength, you find the ability to keep moving forward. Even when everything in you wants to give up, there will be seasons in life when trials come one after another, when burdens feel too heavy to bear, and when the night seems endless. In those moments, relying on your own strength only leads to frustration and despair. But when you turn to God and ask him to carry what you cannot, something shifts inside you. His strength begins where your strength ends. He gives you a supernatural ability to rise above circumstances that should have broken you, to endure battles that should have defeated you, and to walk with courage when fear tries to paralyze you. God's strength is not only for the crisis moments, it is for the ordinary routines of life as well. Every day, you need his power to speak kindly when you are tempted to lash out, to stay patient when stress presses in, to remain faithful when distractions pull at your heart. His Spirit empowers you to live in a way that reflects his love, not just in the big challenges, but in the small decisions. Relying on his strength transforms the way you approach everything. From your work to your relationships to your personal struggles. When you depend on yourself, life feels like a constant uphill climb, exhausting and uncertain. But when you depend on God, you discover a strength that lifts you higher than your own abilities ever could. His word promises that those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. That renewal is not just physical, it is emotional and spiritual as well. He refreshes your mind, calms your heart, and revives your spirit so that you can keep pressing forward. There is also freedom in admitting that you cannot do it all on your own. So many people live under the crushing pressure of self-reliance, believing they must carry every load, solve every problem, and fight every battle alone. But God invites you to let go of that burden and take hold of His strength. He reminds you that His grace is sufficient and His power is made perfect in weakness. What feels like your breaking point is often the very place where His power shines the brightest. So walk today not in the frailty of your own might, but in the limitless strength of your Creator. When storms rage, His strength will steady you. When obstacles rise, His strength will lift you. And when the journey feels too long, His strength will carry you to the finish. Trust Him, lean on Him, and you will discover that His strength is more than enough for every step you take. Living as a light for others begins when you allow God's love to shine through every part of your life. The world is filled with darkness. Hatred, division, fear, and despair weigh heavily on people's hearts. Many walk through their days feeling unseen, unloved, and hopeless. But when you choose to let His love guide your actions and words, you become a beacon in that darkness, a living testimony of the peace and strength that come from Him. Your life becomes more than just about surviving the day. It becomes about lifting others, pointing them to hope, and reminding them that they are not alone. You may never stand on a stage or speak to a crowd, but every interaction you have carries the potential to reflect the light of Christ. A smile to someone who feels invisible, a word of encouragement to someone who is struggling, an act of kindness to someone who expects rejection. These are not small things. They are rays of light breaking through the clouds of someone's despair. The love of God is not meant to be hidden. It is meant to be shared. When you let that love flow through you, people begin to see a glimpse of God's heart in the way you live. Being a light does not mean being perfect. It means being authentic. It means admitting your weaknesses, but showing how God's strength carries you through. It means facing trials, but refusing to let them steal your faith. When others see that kind of resilience, that kind of peace in the middle of chaos, they notice something different. They notice the light shining within you, and it draws them closer to the source of that light. In a world quick to criticize and slow to forgive, you can be a voice of grace. In a culture that celebrates selfishness, you can model compassion. In a time where many live in fear, you can radiate courage because you know who holds your future. Every moment is an opportunity to show the reality of God's love through your life. Even when you think no one is watching, your light matters. Someone discouraged may see your kindness and find strength. Someone hopeless may hear your faith and begin to believe again. The truth is, light shines brightest in darkness. Do not be afraid when you look around and see a world consumed with chaos, division, or despair. That is the very environment where your light has the greatest impact. Just as a candle can light up a dark room, your life can illuminate the path for others. You may not realize the full effect of your influence, but when you live guided by love, you are planting seeds of hope in every heart you touch. So step into each day with the decision to shine. Let your words be gentle, your actions be kind, and your spirit be full of peace. Reflect the love of God in such a way that others cannot help but notice. And when they do, they will not just see you, they will see Him. That is the power of living as a light for others. You become a living testimony that His love is real, His peace is available, and His strength is enough for anyone who seeks Him.